Awesome. Okay, I'm going to start recording. Welcome everybody. This is a real treat tonight. Tonight, if you live in Holland, where Grazilla, our expert, is coming to us live from, and we had a chat, I don't know, a week ago, I guess, about this topic, environmental toxins, and she had so much information. I said we have to share this with people, and since then, I have been researching and studying. And just today, actually, I was listening to, there's 10,000 different chemicals in the air that science tracks and studies that are just regular in all of our air, whether you live in the city or the country or whatever. And these are also in our homes. And I was thinking about how incredible it is that, you know, most of the people out here have essential oils and are diffusing all day to support ourselves. Because the truth is we can't avoid the toxin load of our world. And that's what we're going to talk about today, where it is that we might not know, how it's showing up in your body, and what you can do to help yourself. So with that, Grazilla, will you share with us your story and your wisdom?
Yeah, of course. Well, the first time that I became aware of for me, the new fact that there might be little substances everywhere in every product was when I was around 20 years old. I had an allergic reaction and I didn't know where it came from. So for many weeks, I was walking around and it was, my whole skin was red, and I became more nervous about it because, it was not fun. And everybody said, yeah, it's the sun, or you put too much cream on you, and you try everything and nothing is working. So finally I did an allergic test in the hospital, and there they discovered that it was a nickel allergy. So I was like, okay, great, it's easy. Because then I take my jewelry off and then it's done. That easy. They gave me like 2 paper full with, and I was like, okay, so this is not just the metal stuff, like coins, keys, jewelry, of course, is the most obvious one. Many people has the problem when put the earring in their ear and then after 2 days it starts to annoy a little bit. That's the easy version. The more complicated version is that there is nickel like in the water system, in boilers, when you use the wrong pans for cooking, it's in chlorine. So the more chlorine there's in your water, tap water, the bigger the problem. And so swimming pools, but also in food, chocolate, spinach, a lot of stuff. In the end, it's a natural ingredient, but they add it in like a filler in gold, in silver, even in white gold, in a lot of products. So that's how it started. I don't know if because I know many people have problems with their skin and stuff like that. And then maybe they don't feel the link between, they have like, I said it to you as well a week ago, sometimes people feel like in their face they have like, feel a little bit irritated, but they might have like glasses where can be nickel in there. I have a friend of mine, she has like a similar allergy, and it's also for a type of metal. I don't know exactly the name, but it's often found in printed stuff. So when she's reading like a newspaper or a book or every printed thing, wow, she gets a problem with it. But that's also like a very small metal element, which is like everywhere in the end.
I was so fascinated because I had never connected the dots that what is in chlorine, the reason chlorine works to clear the water is in part because of the nickel that's in it. And for all of us, if you are on water that's coming from any urban center, like unless you're on a well or a spring, you have high levels of chlorine and nickel in the water that you drink. And so not only is it physically on our body, but we are ingesting it. So can you tell us, like, from the ingesting piece, how have you helped manage that?
Yeah, well, I'm quite lucky that in the Netherlands there is chlorine in the water, but I can still handle it. It's not too much, so I can easily take showers and stuff like that. But I remembered when I was in the United States, the first time that's always a problem with allergies. As long as you stay at home and you do the things that you always do, then you're stable. You keep stable. As soon as you start to change something and you start to travel and you're not aware or you're not looking out, then I remembered. So I was like washing my teeth, drinking it, taking showers. And then after a couple of days in the United States, I was like red and swollen all over the place. So yeah, then it starts to become complicated. I bought like the Fiji water bottle of water in the supermarket, and I started like to wash with the mineral water. Yeah, or I need to watch out for other sources, water sources. I remember we lived in Italy until a year ago. And I was so happy because the owner of the house we were renting, he said, well, we have mineral water as tap water. It comes directly from the mountains. I was like, yeah, great. So I was so happy. So we were drinking it and doing everything with it. And then tell us when or if it was periodically, but they started to clean the tubes, the water at the beginning of the year. So I didn't notice. So after a couple of days, I was swollen. I had like my face, I was unable to open my eyes. And when my husband, for example, was flushing the toilet, I needed to go outside to wait before the air, because he was flushing it and then it pulled up like water steam a little bit. And I was like, oh, my face. So I was like, okay, just flush the toilet when she is outside. So yeah, it's everywhere then. When you cook pasta, when you for the showers, I was taking water from a river at the back of the house, like with my own water, taking a shower. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Oh, so
and then at a certain moment, it stabilizes, and then I can handle a certain amount of nickel. It's not that it's like a peanut allergy, like one peanut, bam, and you die. No, it's like it's building it up. And at a certain moment, it's too much.
Yeah, and I think that's what's probably most relevant to everybody watching this. I mean, maybe somebody's watching this and they're like, I have a nickel allergy and I know that. Maybe somebody's watching this and they're like, I don't know, do I have a nickel allergy? You know, am I getting this eczema because of nickel? But for most of us, they say 75% of people have like an intolerance to nickel or some other environmental toxins. That's, as you say, our bodies can take so much of it and we can get rid of it. That's the miracle of our body. But at a certain point, it pushes us over the ledge where it starts to cause health concerns. And our little livers go, I can't keep up with cleaning this, right? And I think that's the beautiful marriage of that awareness that says, hey, I can't avoid breathing it in. I can't avoid drinking it in my water and my tea and the toxins that are in, tea bags, and the chemicals that have leached into our water systems from Roundup and conventional farming. We can't avoid it. So what can we do to help move that stuff through our body? So there's the avoid piece, which you are incredible. You've educated yourself and advocated for chlorine levels in your town, which I think is amazing. But what also are you doing to help rid it out of your body? And I want to hear about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think also the most important thing is to understand that it's quite good news as soon as you know that you have like a little nickel allergy, because that's like a small signal from your body, like, okay, watch out, it's quite difficult for my body to handle this stuff. So if you take more, your body gets more tired to get rid of it. So of course, yeah, good food, natural food. But I also add like lemon drops oil in my water because it tastes better.
I love that you brought up lemon, because everybody should be putting lemon oil in their water to detox every single day, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the most important thing. Avoid it as much as possible. And if you're unable to avoid it, well, I don't know if there is a way to get it out. So then the other option is help your body as much as possible to get as healthy as possible.
Yeah. The question is being asked.
I'm not a doctor to say like, okay, you can take this.
The question being asked there, does grapefruit oil work like lemon oil?
Sorry.
All of your citrus oils are going to be great. So lime, grapefruit, tangerine, lemon. Sleek is another good one because it has citrus oils in it. And purification, the blend purification, great oil for detox on your liver. And of course, clove oil, guys. Clove oil on your feet is really, really hot. You're not going to want to drink that. Put it on your feet. These are detox oils. In fact, many of you guys know our good friend Claudia. She had a clove oil bath once, which I don't recommend because it's such a hot oil, but she put a whole bunch of drops in there, 10, 20 drops. And she said she had such a huge detox after that she over detoxed. But use your clove oil, drink your Ningxia. Those will help pull the metals and stuff out of your body. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yvonne, isn't clove oil the highest? Isn't clove oil the highest antioxidants? Do you know what I mean? What's the English word?
Yeah.
Antioxidant.
It is antioxidants.
Yeah. Clove, right?
Clove, and of course it's in the Thieves blend, so it's another good one.
Yeah.
And also think about your Ningxia for that. Right, your Ningxia is like when you drink your Ningxia, it's like taking metal.
Yeah, I drink Ningxia for 5 years now, and it's one of the products I will never go without. And Ningxia, I think those two, yeah.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. Right.
What else, Grisilla? Yeah. I know we have a delay, but you just share your insights. You have a lifetime experience with this.
I don't know if people have questions. There's not really much to say. Of course, you can I have developed this allergy in a later stage as well. So it's not that when you don't have this problem at this moment, or you don't feel it as a problem at this moment. Yeah, they every 7 years you can build up a new allergy. So
can you see the question there?
Yeah, because you have too much of the stuff in your body. Yeah.
Can you see the question in the comments? The question is, what oils would help topically for breakouts?
Okay, as soon as you have the, I think lavender. I use that one for my dog. But I mix it with like a very neutral, like mix it easy your skin, because it gets very dry as soon as you have like a breakout.
So lavender?
Yeah, I think lavender, if it's really maybe burning, maybe peppermint, but I'm not sure about that. I've never tried that one.
I know that when I looked up detox oils, that patchouli also came up as a good detox oil. So and it's a great skin oil. Not everybody's into that earthy scent, but some people are. Another good one to diffuse. And actually peppermint was also on the detox list. So your citrus oils, your patchouli, your lavender, your peppermint, all of those are going to be helpful for supporting your body to detox, you know, all this stuff that we're exposed to all the time.
But those are oils like peppermint and lavender are also good for allergies like high fever. So that makes sense.
It does make sense. I hadn't connected that. And lemon, lavender, and peppermint is the amazing allergy blend, right? So that is perfect sense, Susan.
High fever.
Yeah. So I know we're all just being so patient with this connection. It might be hard for some people.
I don't know. Does anyone has?
If anybody has questions, feel free to post them there. I know our connection is a bit rough, but we'll give it a couple of minutes if anybody has questions or wants to share their own story related to it. I'll just take it off here onto speaker view. You can just unmute yourself if you want to share your own.
I tried to, I did not work for me. I need to make sure.
Sherry, do you want to share your story with your experiences?
Yes, I can. So I was thinking, I was breaking underneath my wedding bands. And so of course I don't like to take them off very often. I thought maybe it was just getting a buildup. I'm thinking, because once I take it off and I use lavender on like really bad rash underneath, and it only happens every few months, like it's not a time, but it'll be a really bad rash. So I'll put lavender on it and I leave my rings off for a few days and it goes away, which is good. I also soak my rings too. I'm wondering if maybe it's not just me wearing them, because I can normally wear them, but if I'm exposing myself to other nickel at the same time. Like I do notice after washing dishes by hand is when it is the worst. It'll act up like a lot faster. And I never put two together that it could be anything to do with the chlorine in the water, like the nickel in the water. So I'm wondering if I'm like over exposing myself and then it's just reacting where I'm already wearing nickel.
Yeah, it's such a good awareness. My husband, Rob, when we swim in pools with chlorine, he breaks out everywhere. And we just assumed, oh, it's an allergy to nickel. But then I started to look on his body where this is happening. And it's also connected to the rivets on the jeans, the zippers on the jeans. And I'm just like, this is something we never had thought of, that it, that it could be that metal, that exposure to that metal. Very cool. All right, ladies. Well, somebody else says I've used lavender to stop insane itching at night. Yeah, lavender is amazing for that. Cool. Well, guys, I just want to thank you. Go ahead, Susan.
Lavender is, I think it's the oil that.
The hero.
Yeah, it's the hero for everything. In fact, I have an ear infection. I posted it today. I have a swollen, hoe zeg je dat?
Ear infection?
Ja, nee.
Lymph node.
Amandelen? Nee, de...
Neck?
Lymph. Oh, it's swollen here underneath my ears. It's very painful. And it was very thick. And I put it on lavender for 3-4 days, and now it's less swollen and not that painful anymore. Use lavender for
time. We need more often.
Yeah, I have a hard time. But lavender should be in every single house for at least 100 milliliters.
I agree. And Rob has a bit of an ear infection. We put purification on it behind his ear last night. And
yeah, it's very personal. But for me, lavender works better than I know the works of purification. But for me, lavender, I love lavender.
What I wanted to say to Sherry about your probably a nickel allergy as well. It can be your glasses as well. I don't know if this part of the glass is made of metal. And it can also happen that when the weather is warmer and you're sweating a little bit more, then it's to
receive the metal.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe you swim more or you take more showers because it's warmer. Wear less clothes so there's more contact with the skin. For example, I was going out with Bowie, and then
my dog,
the dog of Susan, and I was talking outside with the keys in my hand. And then after a couple of minutes, I feel like, okay, I know that the problem is that I am having the keys in my hand too long. So I feel that it starts to become a problem. But many people maybe don't know or are not aware of the fact that
metal.
Yeah, they are waiting to buy an ice cream with some coins in their hand might be a problem, for example.
So there's lots of nickel in beauty products, but tell us where else in terms of like lotions and stuff, where are you finding nickel triggering you?
Yeah. Well, of course, in sunscreen, there is in the cream sun protection. I remembered I have at this moment, I don't know, I have one brand where I'm absolutely sure that it's fine. But I was on holiday, I forgot the cream, and then you get, oh, you want mine? It was banana boat. I was like, okay, cool. So I put it on. Next day, I was like a swollen monkey. I was like, whoa, it was horrible. So yeah, in the sun protection, there's a lot.
You make a lot of yourself.
I make everything myself. Yeah, I make all my products myself, like from deodorant to the only thing I'm not making is mascara. That's the only thing that I'm still buying. But and it's always created, of course, with baking soda or coconut cream or almond oil, whatsoever, plus living oil, young living oil.
So do you see the question about the Epsom salt?
I see a question like, is Epsom salt have nickel in them somehow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
think so.
I don't use it a lot. Instead of I have tried to use it, but I don't know. From my grandmother was always using baking soda, so I'm grown up with baking soda, and my opinion was that it was quite similar, but not sure.
I would suggest baking soda. I think that's more safe than Epsom salt, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not.
Yeah, baking soda.
Yeah,
baking soda, but buy the good one, not the cheap, very cheap ones.
Yeah,
we have in Europe the very cheap ones in the Japanese or the Chinese stores. But I don't buy them. Do you?
I take it from Italy. They're so cheap, baking soda. Everybody lives with baking soda in Italy.
Yeah, but I buy the bio ones.
Yeah, there is the how do you say that, the power plant, the fabric, how do you call that, the fabric. Nee, dat is een textiel. Nee, dat is de
fabriek. Oh,
the industry where the baking soda comes from is in Italy, close to my house. So we were like, okay, it should be okay. But I see also a question about the canned food and drinks. Indeed, that's a good one, because that is, I was always using canned tomatoes for the Italian food, of course. And indeed, that if it's a problem for you, avoid that one. Yeah.
No canned food, no metal, no,
No.
no,
And what should you be cooking in if it's an issue?
No.
no. And even your
If in what kind of pan you mean? Is in what? Okay. Well, I always ask. I buy them in a proper kitchenware store, and then I ask like, is this one okay for nickel allergies? And then most of the time people. Oh, and I remembered I had a cooking course in Thailand, and I came back. I was like, "Ooh, I will cook Thai." So I bought like the typical Thai wachang. Well, I did that 2 or 3 times, and then after 3, like, ooh, swollen again. So it was like not a good wachang for the Thai cooking. So that one is tricky, yeah.
I think this is so good for us to be aware of when we go to help people who might be having skin issues and not know why. And it's motivation to clean up the products you're putting on your body, and also motivation to use the products that help your body detox. Because even if you're like, I don't have a nickel allergy, this doesn't happen for me, the truth is you're exposed to stuff that your body's trying to get rid of. And we know we have the oils and the supplements to help rid that stuff. I'm even thinking, you know, I'm such a fan of the Balance Complete mix. Get your 3 bowel movements a day, get your body detoxing and cleansing every single day to remove that stuff. Well, guys, we're going to wrap it up there, but thank you so much for
correct.
joining.
Yeah, you're right. But also,
Go ahead.
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, and you know what? These ladies doing this in English,
Any questions?
Translating from their native language in their brains on the fly. I'm blown away every time we have a conversation like this, that you guys can do that. Because I know that there's a lot probably in your brain that you're trying to communicate and express to us. But I do appreciate you sharing your stories.
We do appreciate your help.
Thank you.
I'll post the recording so you can help somebody else. Take some notes, pass this information along, guys. People need to know that there's stuff they can do to help.
Thank you.